Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have my first Kamen Rider X8 review for you today. This is the DX Shakariki Sports Gashat. Basically, this is going to be the kind of gimmick for X8, similar to kind of like Lock Seeds, where they kind of have electronics in them and make their own sounds, but then you can pop them in the driver and get new sounds out of them. So it's pretty exciting. As you can see, this one's kind of associated with the Dark X8, which I'm sure probably has a name, and I apologize that I don't know it. But really colorful packaging, very thin packaging. I kind of like this on the side here, where it says the Shakariki Sports Gashat, and then it has the kind of buttons here on the side that kind of remind me of like a Super Nintendo. So I definitely love the kind of gaming motif that they're going for here. Here it just kind of shows how it's going to work with the gamer driver. It shows by itself. But yeah, really cool packaging. I believe this was around 1,200 yen, which is about $12 right now because the exchange rate is not the best. But just getting it out of the box and playing with it, it's pretty fun. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Alright, so here it is out of the packaging. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have a way to stand on its own. It's pretty thin. But you can see there's a QR code on the back. Here is the panel. You can take change if you need to change the batteries. There's a screwdriver here. There was a little tab, one of those little plastic things you just pull out, so the batteries are included, which is nice. You can see there's this kind of clear plastic piece on the top, and then it's got an opaque finish here on the front. And then the front here, in my opinion, kind of reminds me of like, you know, a Nintendo or Super Nintendo cartridge or something, which I'm sure is what they're going for. And it says GD for Gamer Driver, and then it says Shakariki Sports. So if this button on the top here, if you go ahead and press that once. Now this part does light up. I know it's probably hard to see. So you can see that it does that. The first time, if you let it sit for a while, it makes the sound it just made. If I hit it again. And then another time it makes this sound. Oh, it made that sound again. There you go. There's the second sound. So it must be kind of random. Kind of like some of the Lock Seeds where you had the button on the back that you kind of had to like the win or lose. It would kind of randomly alternate. So it looks like it'll always say Shakariki Sports, but then it'll kind of alternate between those other two sounds. Which is pretty neat. You can see the speakers down here and down here. So, it also says Shakariki Sports there on the side. Kind of like the way like a Nintendo would have a front and then kind of a spine for the title of the game, which I just think these things are really neat. They're very kind of, they have a nostalgic feel with being brand new, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of something new done in a nostalgic style, which is a lot of fun. But you can see there's two buttons on the front here, and they're going to get different sounds when it's actually plugged into the driver. But if you just kind of press these in with your finger right now. So I have to assume that is the henshin sound, or what plays when you first transform. If you let go, it kind of makes the sound of him like pulling it out of the driver. If you press this button by itself, kind of generic sounds there. But if you press the first one, and then while that's pressed down, press the second button. So you get some really fun sounds there, and it says level up, so I assume that's when you transform into the second version of this. And then if you let go, it does that. So I'm assuming that the first button is when you close it the first time and he transforms, and then when you open it up again, it's going to press the second button for level up. But this thing's a lot of fun. I mean, I know on its own there's not a whole lot you can do with it. You just have the 3 sounds with this button, and then you kind of have the 2 henshin sounds. And I'm sure there's probably a way to get some more attacks out of this, and I'm not sure if the attacks are going to be in the driver itself, or in the Loxy, the Gashat, or if it's going to be some kind of combination where maybe the first part will play in the driver itself, and then the second part will play out of this, because I know some of the Loxies were kind of like that too. But this thing's a lot of fun. I'm really getting excited for Xaid. I think this is really well done. Like I said, it's very nostalgic, while at the same time being brand new, and just really a lot of fun. I like that the gimmick finally has lights and sounds on its own again, without relying on a driver, which is something we really haven't had since Gaim, because Drive and Ghost, the little, gimmicks were, while they were cheaper because they didn't have lights or sounds, I don't think, honestly, $12 is all that bad for one of these, because, I mean, some of the, Candy Toy or Gashapon shift cars and icons and things like that are much more expensive, and they did not have lights or sounds. So I think this thing is really cool. I'm really excited for Xaid, and I'm probably just going to be playing with this a whole lot, hitting these buttons over and over again for the next 2 weeks until we get the gamer driver. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Please like and share this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Shakariki Sports Gashat from Kamen Rider Xaid, and thanks so much for watching.